What if everything you think you know about retirement is wrong? What if you're planning for a future that doesn't actually exist? Retirement isn't just about savings and golf, it's about survival. And if you don't ask yourself these 5 hard questions now, you could be looking at 30 years of regret, not relaxation. In this video, we're diving into the 5 retirement questions that are keeping smart people up at night and why you need to wrestle with them before it's too late. Some of these will shake you. Let's go. All right, quick disclaimer. This isn't your average retirement pep talk. I'm not here to sell you a peace of mind or give you some boring savings tip that you've heard 100 times. I'm here to lay out the raw, uncomfortable questions that you must face if you want to retire without the constant creeping anxiety of, did I do enough? These aren't questions with easy answers, but they're the ones that actually matter. So if you're serious about your future, buckle up. Question 1. What will you do with your time every single day for the next 20 to 30 years? Think about this. For the past 40 years, most of your life has been scheduled for you. Wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat, and suddenly, poof, no schedule. Just time. A lot of it. Every single day. It sounds great until you actually get there. One of the biggest psychological shocks retirees face is the sudden loss of structure. Studies show that retirees are at a much higher risk of depression, especially in the first year after leaving work. Why? Not because they miss their job, but because they don't know who they are without it. Your job gave you purpose, goals, deadlines, and without it, there's a void. And if you don't fill it with something meaningful, that void fills you with boredom, loneliness, and regret. So ask yourself now, what's your plan for your time? Not just travel or spend time with grandkids. That stuff is seasonal. What about the in-between? The Tuesdays in February when nothing's going on. Will you volunteer? Start a side hustle? Build furniture in your garage? Retirement isn't an endless vacation. It's just life with fewer rules. You need to build a new life, not just coast through one. Question 2. How long are you really going to live? And are you ready for that? This one gets dark, but it's real. A lot of people plan for retirement like they'll only live for 10 years after they quit working. But the math doesn't lie. According to the Social Security Administration, a 65-year-old today has a 1 in 4 chance of living past 90. That's 25 years of retirement, a full quarter of your life. If you stop working at 65 and live to 95, that's 30 years of no paycheck. That's longer than most careers. Are your finances really built for that? And here's the kicker. With healthcare advances, living longer is becoming the norm. But longer doesn't always mean better. You might spend 10 or 15 years in declining health, which means more medical bills, more care, more costs. Have you factored that in? Because Medicare won't cover everything. A Fidelity report says the average 65-year-old couple will spend over $315,000 on health care in retirement. And that's without long-term care. Add that in, and you're looking at some serious money. So no, you're probably not over-planning. You're probably underestimating just how long and how expensive retirement really is. Question 3. What happens if the market crashes right after you retire? Let's talk about sequence of returns risk, the silent killer of retirement plans. Here's how it works. Imagine you've saved up a cool $1 million. You're ready to retire. You start withdrawing, say, 4% per year. Then bam, the market drops 30% in your first year. Suddenly, that million is $700,000. But you're still withdrawing like nothing happened. That combo of losses plus withdrawals digs a hole that you may never climb out of. Even if the market recovers later, your portfolio may never bounce back because you pulled out too much too soon. This is what happened to thousands of retirees back in 2008. They didn't do anything wrong. They just had bad timing. So what's the fix? You need a withdrawal strategy that adjusts with the market. Some retirees use a bucket strategy, keeping a few years worth of cash or bonds separate from their investments so that they don't have to sell stocks in a downturn. Others reduce spending in bad years. Point is, your retirement isn't just about how much you save. It's about how you use it and when. Question 4. Are you emotionally and mentally ready to retire? You probably spent years, maybe decades, looking forward to retirement. But here's a question no one asks. Are you actually ready for it? And I don't mean financially. I mean emotionally. Because retirement is an identity shift. You go from being a professional, an engineer like myself, a teacher, a nurse, a manager, to being what exactly? A lot of retirees report feeling invisible, like they've lost their role in the world. One day, you're being asked for input, leading projects, solving problems. The next, no one's calling. No one needs you. And that feeling can eat away at you. You need to build a new identity, on purpose. Maybe that's being a mentor, a creator, a community leader, a full-time grandparent, whatever fits you. But you can't just wing it. Talk to retirees who are happy and you'll notice something. They didn't just retire from something, they retired to something. And there's a big difference. Question 5. What if your partner, or you, dies first? No one wants to think about this, but it's a guarantee. One of you will go first. And when that happens, everything changes. Which reminds me of a song. If you have a few minutes, go give a listen to a song called If We Were Vampires by Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit. You'll be glad you did. At that point, Social Security benefits may be reduced. Pension income might vanish or be cut in half. Your household expenses don't drop by 50%, but your income might. Are you prepared for that? Also, think about the practical stuff. Does your partner know where the accounts are? How to pay the bills? What your insurance covers? Who the financial advisor is? In so many couples, one person handles the money. And when they're gone, the other is left in the dark at the worst possible time. Now is the time to get everything in order. Write it down. Talk about it. Build a plan together for what happens if one of you has to face retirement alone. Because that's not a possibility, that's a certainty. Here's the truth no one tells you. Retirement isn't a finish line. It's not a moment when you get to say, I made it, and everything else is smooth sailing. It's a transition into a new phase of life, one that lasts decades, changes constantly, and throws you curveballs you can't even predict. You might have to go back to work. You might become a caregiver for your spouse. Your kids might move in. Your dream location might turn into a nightmare. Inflation might eat away at your income. Health problems might come out of nowhere. And if you're not ready to adapt, you're going to struggle. The people who thrive in retirement aren't always the richest. They're the ones who can pivot, who ask the hard questions, who built flexibility into their plans, who had honest conversations early and often. So let's stop pretending that retirement is just about money. It's not. It's about time, health, identity, risk, loss, and meaning. If you're not asking these questions, you're not really planning. You're just hoping. And hope is not a strategy. Let this video be your wake-up call. These questions might be uncomfortable. They might even keep you up tonight. But facing them now is a lot better than regretting them later. My name is Stephen Kofer. Thanks for stopping by. This channel is for anyone ready to take ownership of their future. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need the willingness to start. And I'm here to walk with you every step of the way. Watch this next video. It's a real eye-opener for the questions you're not asking.